What if I told you that deep in the heart of Africa, there are tribes where sex isn't hidden behind closed doors? It's celebrated publicly, as a sacred tradition, where intimacy isn't taboo but a ritual, a rite of passage, even a prayer. Sounds unbelievable, right? But is it really true, or just another myth sensationalized by outsiders? Today, we uncover the controversial world of public sex ceremonies in tribal Africa, and the truth will shock you. Myth versus reality. The internet is filled with search terms like tribe sex, African porn, and naked tribe rituals. But what do those actually mean? Are there really tribes that perform sexual ceremonies in public? Or are these stories exaggerated, even fabricated, for clicks and curiosity? Let's start with what we know. Tribes like the Himba, the Dogon, and the Trobriand Islanders are often cited in documentaries and YouTube rabbit holes. Yes, many of these cultures have more open, body-positive views of sexuality. But not all of them hold sex ceremonies the way the internet imagines them. In some places, what we call erotic is actually ancestral, cultural context, and belief systems. In tribal Africa, sex is often connected to nature, fertility, rain rituals, and ancestral reverence. It's spiritual. It's social. It's sacred. Among the Trobriand Islanders, for instance, sexuality is celebrated from a young age. Children are taught about intimacy not with shame, but with ceremony. Meanwhile, the Dogon of Mali host fertility dances that appear sensual to outsiders but are tied to harvest and cosmic balance. In the Himba tribe, topless girls and nude tribe customs are part of everyday life, not sexual displays. So when people use terms like naked or erotic, they're often missing the point. These acts aren't pornographic. They're ritualistic, deeply woven into tradition. To them, sex isn't performance. It's prayer. The power of public rituals. There are rituals that do involve public intimacy, but not in the way most imagine. Some tribes believe the act of union between man and woman can summon rain, heal land, or appease ancestors. In Zimbabwe, the Shona people once practiced a ceremony where couples engaged in symbolic acts in front of elders to bless the land. In Ghana, some initiation rituals symbolized entry into adulthood through public symbolism, not explicit intercourse, despite how it's portrayed online. In the Samburu of Kenya, a symbolic gifting of beads is tied to intimacy, but this too is often misinterpreted by outsiders. These events may involve displays of nudity or closeness, but they are not sex shows, they are spiritual ceremonies. Where we see scandal, they see sacred tradition. Rituals beyond the headlines. When outsiders hear about public sex ceremonies in certain African tribes, many imagine scandalous scenes. But the reality, in those few societies where intimate acts are part of public rituals, is far more complex and deeply rooted in cultural tradition. In these communities, such practices are not about erotic display, they are spiritual, social, and symbolic. Often they mark transitions, from youth to adulthood, from single life to marriage, or serve as rituals meant to ensure fertility, harmony, and connection with ancestors. Western misinterpretation and media hype. Let's be honest. Many Western-produced sex documentaries twist these traditions into clickbait. They film topless girls, naked tribes, and ceremonial dances, then label them as erotic or tribal porn. Context matters. A breast in one culture is nourishment, pride, and identity. In another, it's censored and sexualized. The same image viewed through different cultural filters tells entirely different stories. Media crews often stage or edit footage to feed stereotypes. They isolate moments from ceremonies, strip away the chants, songs, and meanings, and turn sacred rituals into spectacle. We've turned cultural identity into fetish content and lost the truth in the process. Voices from the tribes. Naima, a Himba woman, once said in an interview, "When you cover your body, you hide your power. We show ours." To the Himba, nudity isn't vulnerability, it's strength. To the Dogon, symbolic sex rituals aren't sinful, they're sacred. Yet their voices are rarely heard. The world prefers to film them, not listen to them. A Trobriand elder once explained, "What you call a sex dance, we call an offering to the ancestors." These statements offer clarity. These people are not performing for the camera. They are expressing centuries of belief, spirituality, and collective memory. They want the world to see the full truth, not just the edited fantasy. Their stories are twisted until they fit our fantasies. So, is it true or myth? Here's the truth. Yes, some African tribes perform rituals involving public displays of intimacy. But most of the graphic or sexualized interpretations come from outside perspectives, not from the tribes themselves. The ceremonies may include nudity, close contact, or symbols of fertility. But they are not pornographic. They are not sex events. They are expressions of identity, ecology, harmony, and spiritual order. We are the ones labeling them with terms like tribe sex and nude rituals based on our own cultural bias. The myth isn't that it exists. The myth is how we portray it. Collective identity and social cohesion. What might seem shocking to outsiders is often understood by locals as an affirmation of shared values and continuity of life. In many indigenous belief systems, sexuality isn't hidden away with shame. It's viewed as a life force to be honored openly. Public rituals, when they happen, reinforce that the individual is never separate from the tribe. In these moments, the community collectively takes responsibility for nurturing new families and future generations. Elders, dancers, drummers, and sometimes entire families gather, not out of prurient curiosity, but out of duty, to witness, bless, and celebrate the continuation of life. So what can we learn? We must stop viewing tribal customs through a lens of lust and judgment. We must stop Googling nude tribe, expecting titillation, and start seeking understanding. These tribes aren't erotic performances. They are cultures, families, histories. When we reduce sacred traditions to African porn or tribal sex, we rob these people of dignity. We ignore the centuries of meaning behind each song, dance, and symbol. Let this video be a reminder. Not everything that looks strange is perverse. Not everything nude is sexual. And not every tradition needs to fit our understanding to be valid. If this story challenged your perspective, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment. Did you think these public sex ceremonies were real before watching? And subscribe for more stories that go deeper than the clickbait and uncover the real, raw truths behind the most misunderstood cultures in the world. Stay human. Stay respectful. Stay curious.